this question. Don't share it with your neighbor. It's a simple yes or no question. In fact, do this. Write down yes and write down no. Just write down yes and write down no. Yes, no. Okay? Write those down. Now, here's the question. The question is, are you happy with your income year to date? Yes? No. Yes or no? That's what you need to write down. So if you're happy about it, great, fantastic. And by the way, we have some agents in this company. Let me back up. I think I announced a couple of weeks ago that we had as many agents that had already achieved Centurion status so far this year closed that we did all of last year. And we still have, at that time, 3.5 months left of the year. Just pretty substantial, and congratulations. That's very cool. Very, very cool. So now, I want you to write down these letters. Write down the letter I, write down the letter L, and write down the letter S. I-L-S. I haven't figured out what that spells yet, but we'll talk more about it in just a second. Well, let me do this. This year, according to the billboard I saw a while back, it said thousands of men will die from stubbornness. That's what this billboard said on the freeway. True? Absolutely true. The billboard said thousands of men will die from stubbornness. What the billboard was referring to was men not seeking medical treatment for prostate cancer. Thousands of men will die. Now this is interesting because even though over the last 10 years there have been great breakthroughs in medicine for the treatment of prostate cancer, breakthroughs causing men to live decades longer and to be completely cured of this and to have normal lives and to be with their families far beyond expectations they had 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So why will thousands of men still die if in fact there's this treatment out there? And they said because of stubbornness. So I started thinking about this a little bit, and I wrote down 3 words that go with the letters I asked you to write down. The one was I, and I think that's for ignorance. We don't know. The L stands for laziness, and the S stands for stubbornness. So, some of these men will die because they're ignorant about the new treatment. They're not educating themselves. They don't know what's going on in the marketplace. They don't take action and do something about it. That's ignorance. Laziness is truthfully, maybe they heard about it. Maybe they got some information about it, but they're too lazy to get off the couch and take action and do anything about it. Maybe they're afraid. Maybe they're afraid of the unknown. I don't know. But thousands and thousands of men are going to die. And then the last word is stubbornness. Stubbornness is refusing to change one's opinion or action despite attempts to persuade one to do so. So it started me thinking about the thousands and thousands of real estate agents that are not going to achieve their goals this year. Or worse. the thousands and thousands of real estate agents that may have to leave the business, even though there are proven systems, people sitting right next to you doing what they're supposed to do, even though those are proven systems and that show a surefire way to make money and to achieve and excel in this marketplace, these agents are going to fail. I believe it's also because of ignorance, laziness, or stubbornness. So let's take a look at those three. Ignorance. You don't know what to say, and you don't know how to say it. Okay? Is that possible in here? Come on. The Master's Advantage program that we beat you up with every day, every week, every month, every minute, all coaching calls, all sales meetings. I stand up here 42 times a year. I mean, even if you did nothing else but come to a sales meeting, you're going to get exposed to the possibilities, what's possible. Our training classes are always talking about the 5-5-10. We're always talking about the activities that are needed. So I don't think it's ignorance why some people aren't achieving their goals and thriving in this business. So let's look at laziness. Knowing what to do, but not getting off there and doing it. Maybe that applies to some. I don't know. And then there's stubbornness. Stubbornness is refusing to change one's opinion or action despite attempts to persuade one to do so. I still believe that some of you, maybe nobody in this meeting, but somebody at home, okay, actually believe I would give you some information that is inaccurate. I actually believe at some level you think I'm not giving you the magic pill. I'm keeping it all for myself. I'm not going to share. I think you think that. No. Neil talks about the Master's Advantage program. He talks about all the 27 things that we're supposed to do. He talks about the calling that we're supposed to do. He talks about the door knocking we're supposed to do. He talks about the scripts and dialogues we're supposed to. No. There's something else that all those other agents that are making tens of thousands, in some cases hundreds of thousands, in some cases $1 million a year. He's telling them the good stuff. I actually believe you believe that at some level. Drives me nuts. Because I think I've shared this enough times before. The way our structure goes, if you don't make money, I don't make money. Do you know that? I don't know if you knew that or not. If you don't make a nickel, I don't make a penny. It's just the way it works. So there's no profit in it for me to give you the wrong advice. None. Zero. And hear this. I am a profit-motivated individual. Okay? I am not going to give you the wrong information. If I knew something, in fact, the truth is, when I learn something, don't I bring it right to you? Don't I bring it out immediately? Either the next sales meeting, if we're having a shift or a change or a script or a dialogue, don't we talk about it in the next week or so? Or I'll put it out in an email if there's something you need to know. Honest, I'm not holding back. I promise. So, let's look at the 4 things the superstars do on a regular basis to produce at a high volume. These are 4 activities that they do that you need to be doing. Write this down. A minimum of 75% of your day, you need to be in action on these 4 activities. And they're going to change every day. A little more on one day, and a little less in another on another day. We get that. but 75% of your day needs to be in these 4 activities. The first one is, write this down, meet the people. We're not talking about prospecting. We're going to get rid of that word, and we're going to call it the meet the people. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the meet the people business. Open houses, doors, phones, mailing, social events, advertising. All of those are forms of meeting the people. That's the business we're in. Simply put, this activity is called lead generating. Write that down. There might be a test. Number 2, follow-up. Write down follow-up. Follow up on those connections that you made in lead generating to set an appointment. Write this down. No appointment, no money. No appointment, no money. I don't care if you're in the loan business or if you're in the real estate business. If you don't have an appointment and you're not in front of somebody either on the phone or in person, you can't make a penny in this business. Get that through your head, clearly. Follow-up is appointment setting time. Third point, negotiating contracts. Negotiating contracts, either negotiating a listing contract to take one, or negotiating a contract for a buyer or seller. And the fourth one is making a presentation, including handling objections that needs to be done. All of these are part of our Master's Advantage program. All of you are aware of them. All of you get total clarity on them. Let me just share this thought. Write this down if you will. There are 3 kinds of agents that fit into these categories. Agent number 1 is an agent who is a great prospector, fabulous prospector. They out generating leads all the time. Their follow-up is horrible. Agent 2. They're terrific when given a lead. If you hand them a lead or they pick one up along the road, they're terrific at their customer service and their follow-up, but they do not prospect to generate other leads. So you've got the prospector who doesn't follow up, then you have the agent who follows up but doesn't prospect. Write this down. Circle them both and then put a little line next to it and then write down those people are called average agents. Average agents. That's what average agents do. One or the other. But that's what they do. Superstar agents do both. And they do both at a high level. They're great prospectors, and they're great at following it up. And then when they're done, they go back out and prospect and follow up some more. Prospecting is lead generating. Following up is appointment setting. I'm going to say this again, it's really important. If you're not on an appointment, you can't make money in this business. You need to write that down and you need to look at it. If you allowed the whole week to go by without being on an appointment, a buying appointment or a listing appointment, preferably a listing appointment, you can't make money. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Go ahead. It's okay. I hope you can. But I don't see it out there. It's 40 years of this business. 40 years of experience. 40 years of, look, for the first probably 10 or 12 years, even though I was introduced to Mike Ferry early on, I was also looking for the magic pill. I said the same thing to Mike. Mike, what's the true secret? So what do you mean, what's the truth? Well, haven't you been lying to me for the last 10 years? Isn't there something else out there I should be doing rather than door knocking, phone canvassing, following up, learning my scripts? And there's got to be something else. He says, well, I haven't found it yet, so why don't you do that for another 10 years and then come back and talk to me, okay? So, you're not ignorant. You're not. You know what to do and how to do it. Are you lazy? Are you not getting off the couch? Are you not doing what needs to be done? See, I don't think anyone wants to admit to being lazy. And I don't think, for the most part, most of us are lazy. I don't believe that. I really don't. I mean, the truth is that a lot of you are in the office all day long, except for the ones I go to see at Starbucks occasionally. But they're meeting people, so it's cool. You're at work. You're there. The question is, what percentage of the time are you doing the 4 activities we just talked about? Prospecting, following up, negotiating contracts, and presentations. What percentage of your day? If you're at work 8 or 10 hours a day, and a lot of you are, you're away from home 8 to 10 hours a day, your loved ones see you coming back home, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're spent, you're discouraged. You're kind of mad at yourselves in some cases because you didn't do what you were supposed to do when you were supposed to do it. And now the family needs you at home. Homework with the kids, focus with those kinds of things. And the problem is that you're so worried about business or thinking about what you should have done that you're not there for the kids, doing their homework, fixing things with them, having a relationship with them. So then, of course, tomorrow you go to work, and you're at work, and you're spending your day at work thinking about the time that you were with the kids, but you weren't connected with them. You weren't doing their homework. You're feeling really bad about it. So you're never really at work, and you're never really at home. It's killing you. It's killing you. Stop doing that. See, I don't think you're lazy, and I'm convinced you know what to do. So there's only one thing left. You're stubborn. You got to be stubborn. Stop being stubborn. Stop it. It's costing you a fortune, an absolute fortune, to continue to be stubborn. Open up and say, that's it, Neil. Today, we're going to do it. I'm going to take the Master's Advantage program. I'm going to start with A. I'm going to go through Z. We're going to get everything started. We're going to get into the program. We're going to make it happen for the balance of this year. We're going to run through that finish line. We're not going to worry about next year's goals, 2013. There's still time to make a lot of money between now and the end of the year if you choose to. If you choose to. And stop being stubborn. I wrote down, if you're stubborn, what is that costing you? Think about this. There are more people that don't know us than know us, right? Are you guys with us? That don't know us rather than know us. So what does it cost us if we're not meeting them on a regular basis? If we're not meeting them and going out to talk with them? One of the reasons we don't go to talk with them is because we don't know what to say and how to say it. So we don't want to look foolish. Yet, you're not taking the time, effort, and energy to work on your scripts and dialogues at the highest level. You would think on Tuesday advanced class that we do here, this place would be full. 150 people would be in this place trying to get better on a daily, weekly basis. We have a nice turnout, but there's not 150 of you here. Lazy, ignorant, stubborn. Fact, when we set more we set more appointments when we follow up than when we don't. We set more appointments when we follow up than we don't. My question is, how many deals have you lost from over following up in your career? How many deals have you lost? How about, let's just say in the last 90 days. How many deals have you lost in the last 90 days from over following up? 1, 2, 3, 8, 12? Here's a question. How many deals have you lost from not following it up enough in the last 90 days? What did that cost? Ignorance, laziness, or stubborn? I wrote down here, when you know your inventory and you have inventory knowledge, you have power. When you have power, you have confidence. And yet, one of the hardest things for me to get you to do, for Bill to get you to do, and Frank to get you to do, is what?
Preview.
Preview property. You even know what it is. Why? Knowledge equals confidence. Confidence equals power. When you're powerful, you make a powerful presentation. I wrote down here, the more powerful you are, the stronger your presentation, the better you handle objections that may come up. Weak presentation equals less saleable listings taken. It's that simple. I wrote down a question. Have you ever lost a listing to a competitor because they had a better, stronger listing presentation and knew how to handle the objections better than you? Has that ever happened? Should never happen again, starting today. We have an amazing opportunity. Interest rates are phenomenally low. Phenomenally low. And they feel like they're bouncing at the bottom here, and they don't seem to be coming up anytime soon. Inventory prices are low, and inventory is kind of low. But when you get a decent house, how fast is it sold? Like that, right? 4, 5, 8, 10. I hear we had a situation last week where we had 23 offers. We just cut off taking offers. The paperwork was, overwhelming. It was ridiculous. That's the market that we have today. Seller said, I don't want to hear anything else. I'm done. If one of these 23 doesn't work, we have a real problem here. All right? You know what to do, so it's not ignorance. You know what to say, or maybe you need to practice it at a higher level. That's okay. I get that. You need to take action. It's either stubbornness or laziness. I wrote down here, I did say stubbornness does have an advantage, okay? Stubbornness does have an advantage. You always know what you're going to be thinking tomorrow. Oh, you'll get that later. And about stubbornness, some people's minds are like concrete, thoroughly mixed up and permanently set. Open your mind. Break through the concrete. This is an amazing opportunity. Low interest rates. The world wants to buy houses. I've said this before. We are the human species is a nomadic species. They are into moving. They're into upgrading. They're into doing better. They're into getting things and change. We haven't had a lot of that in the last 8 or 10 years because some people couldn't. Interest rates prevented it. Qualifying prevented it. Equities prevented it. That's changing every day. It's getting a little easier, little easier, little easier, little easier. And they're a little bit more excited about it. When you go to a party now, well, let me back up. When you went to a party in 2007, 8, and 9, you said you were in real estate, they said, oh, that's terrible, I'm so sorry for you. Right? must be horrible. I can't believe. Are you okay? Now, 2011, 2012, moving on to 2013. Whoa, real estate. I'm thinking about getting into real estate. That's what we hear, right? Wow, I hear it's rocking and rolling. Great things are going on. I wrote down here, today matters. Today matters. A lot of us would like to move mountains, but too many of us are unwilling to practice on small hills. We all want to move a mountain. We have to practice on the small hills. We know you're not lazy. A lot of you are here 8, 10, 12 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week. So maybe you're just a little bit stubborn. Let's clear that out. Let's embrace the program. Let's embrace the systems. Let's focus on the finish line and run through that finish line this year. Worry about what we can earn, how many houses we can sell, how many deals can we do, how many clients can we help between now and the first of next year. And by doing that, you're going to focus on making this one of the best weeks you've ever had. Thank you.